TOEFL Practice Test 3. Now open your book to Practice Test 3, Section 1. Read the directions in your book as you listen to the directions on this recording. You may not read ahead or turn the pages while the instructions for each part are being read. TOEFL Practice Test 3, Section 1, Listening Comprehension. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers you hear. Do not take notes or write in your test book at any time. Do not turn the pages until you are told to do so. Part A. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear,
"What's the weather been like there this winter?"
About the same as last.
"What does the woman mean?" In your test book, you read, A. At last winter is almost over. B. She doesn't like winter weather very much. C. This winter's weather is similar to last winter's weather. D. Winter won't last as long this year as it did last year. From the conversation, you learn that the woman thinks the weather this winter is almost the same as the weather last winter. The best answer to the question, "What does the woman mean?" is C. This winter's weather is similar to last winter's weather. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Go on to Part A. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
Shall we try one more physics problem?
I'd rather not. I'm fed up.
How does the woman feel? Number 2.
Will I need to have this tooth pulled?
I don't think so. Let's try filling it first.
Where does this conversation probably take place? Number 3.
John really enjoys old movies.
So does Bill.
What does the man mean? Number 4.
We'll have to hurry if we want to finish this project on time.
I'll say we will.
What does the man mean? Number 5.
I should keep working, but I don't feel like it.
Why don't you take a breather?
What does the woman think the man should do? Number 6.
I take it for granted you're happy with your choice of university.
Well, as it turns out, I'm not, really.
What do we learn about the man? Number 7.
Excuse me, I'm trying to find the library.
Look no further.
What does the woman mean? Number 8.
Are you going to be working in the garage long?
Until I can finish fixing this lawnmower.
What is the woman going to do? Number 9.
Well, what do you think?
You really got a short haircut and a tight curl, didn't you?
Where has the woman been? Number 10.
Charles still has 2 more chapters of his thesis to write.
Yes, but they're just summaries of the others, aren't they?
What does the man imply about Charles's thesis? Number 11.
Can you tell me where I might borrow a typewriter?
The library has some. You can use one there.
What will the man probably do next? Number 12.
If you don't want to go to the party, you shouldn't feel obligated to.
Oh, well, I don't mind going for a little while.
What is the woman going to do? Number 13.
Did you get the car you wanted?
No, someone beat me to it.
What does the man mean? Number 14.
You wouldn't be interested in 2 tickets to tonight's concert, would you?
Not much I wouldn't.
What does the man mean? Number 15.
I was pretty taken aback at Dan's reaction to our proposal.
Me too. And I thought some of his comments were really out of line.
How does the woman feel? Number 16.
Sorry, this seat is already taken.
Oops, I didn't realize anyone was sitting there.
What will the woman probably do? Number 17.
Brad is planning on buying a new stereo system.
I thought he said he had run out of money.
What does the woman imply about Brad? Number 18.
Has anyone notified Susan of the meeting?
Don't look at me.
What does the man mean? Number 19.
I understand you've been offered that position you applied for. Congratulations.
What position is that? I haven't started looking for jobs yet.
What does the man mean? Number 20.
Are you sure you're ready for the test tomorrow?
I'd better read through my notes one more time.
What is the man going to do? Number 21.
I think we're all going to have a great time at the class picnic.
I'm not so sure. There's rain in the weather forecast.
What does the woman mean? Number 22.
Could I get my tape player back? I just bought a new cassette and I'd like to try it out.
I'm not exactly sure how to break this to you, but I can't seem to find it.
What is the man's problem? Number 23.
I just got a call from Lance. He wants us to be there at 4 o'clock.
You must be kidding. I can't make it by then.
What are the speakers talking about? Number 24.
I'm hoping to go to Ted's graduation on Friday.
But you have to work that day, don't you?
What does the man imply about the woman? Number 25.
What's going on around here? It seems like every time I open my refrigerator, it's empty again.
Well, until Joe and Frank find a place to live, they're eating here.
What are Joe and Frank doing? Number 26.
Do you know where Ann is? We were supposed to meet here.
Well, her coat is here on her desk.
What does the woman imply about Anne? Number 27.
How did your linguistics discussion go?
I thought the group would get bored, but we went overtime.
What does the man mean? Number 28.
I can't remember when our final lab report is due.
The 15th. But we shouldn't put it off until the last minute.
What does the woman mean? Number 29.
Did you enjoy Gary's presentation?
I couldn't figure out what he was getting at.
What does the woman mean? Number 30.
The new theater downtown really has a lot to offer.
Especially to opera lovers.
What does the man mean? This is the end of Part A. Go on to Part B. Part B. Directions. In this part, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 through 34. Listen to friends talk about the colors of trees in the fall.
I just heard something interesting on the public radio station. Do you know why the leaves on trees turn so many different colors in the fall?
I think so. When they die, they dry out and turn brown, or frost and cold turn them other, brighter colors.
Well, not exactly. Actually, the autumn leaf color that paints our countryside isn't the result of a loss of pigment, but of an uncovering of underlying true colors of the leaves.
What do you mean by that?
Well, during the summer, tree leaves produce chlorophyll, which is green, but they also actively produce other pigments. Then, in the fall, when chlorophyll production stops, the green color breaks down and the other pigments produced in the leaves are uncovered.
Amazing. Well, what causes some trees to have red leaves then, and some to have yellow or brown or orange?
Different chemical pigments. For example, carotene, the same pigment found in carrots, creates the orange color in some species. Anthocyanins produce the bright red we see in sugar maples, and so on.
So the mystery of autumn leaf color really isn't a mystery at all.
Number 31. What is the main topic of the conversation? Number 32. What prompted the conversation? Number 33. What had the man thought about leaf coloration? Number 34. What causes the different colors found in autumn leaves? Questions 35 through 38. Listen to a telephone conversation between two students.
Hello, Tom Watson here.
Hello, Tom. This is Suzanne. I'm calling to let you know that you can pick your grades up at the registrar's office today if you want to. I just got mine, and I got all A's this semester. I'm going to graduate with honors.
That's great, Suzanne. At least you're graduating.
What? Aren't you graduating with me this spring? I thought that you and I were going to celebrate together after the graduation ceremony.
I had thought so too, but I found out today that I don't have enough credits to graduate this spring after all.
Are you kidding me? What's going on?
Well, the registrar says that I have to come back this summer and take one more course.
You missed it by one course? I can't believe it.
You see, in the old catalog, this course in history would have counted twice, once for my major and once as a humanities core course. But in this new catalog, this same course only counts once.
Did you tell the registrar which year you started college? Your graduation requirements are those listed in the catalog published the year you entered the college. You and I both entered this college in 1990. Therefore, we follow the guidelines in the 1990 catalog. That's the older one you were talking about. I don't think you need to worry about the requirements in the newer catalog.
Really? If so, then I can graduate.
Have you talked to your advisor about this?
I should go sign up for an appointment with her right now. Thanks for everything. Maybe I'll see you at the graduation party after all.
I sure hope so. Bye for now, and good luck.
Number 35. What is the main topic of this conversation? Number 36. Why is Tom disappointed? Number 37. Why doesn't Suzanne think Tom should be worried? Number 38. What will Tom probably do next? This is the end of Part B. Go on to Part C. Now read along with me as I read the directions for Part C. Remember, you should not read ahead or turn the pages while the directions for this part are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about bumblebees."
The familiar black and yellow bumblebee is often found in fields of red clover. It is the only bee with a tongue long enough to fertilize this plant, so it is impossible to raise red clover where there are no bumblebees. Like the queen wasp, the queen bee is the only member of her colony that lives through the winter. She starts a new colony in her underground nest every spring by laying from 400 to 1,000 eggs in wax cells, or combs. Bumblebees also produce honey. Their nests are often dug up and the contents eaten by bears, mice, and other animals.
Now listen to a sample question. Why is it impossible to raise red clover where there are no bumblebees? In your test book, you read, A. Only bumblebees can fertilize red clover plants. B. Bumblebees protect red clover from plant-eating insects. C. Bumblebees bring water to red clover plants on their tongues. D. Bumblebees keep mice and other animals away from red clover plants. The best answer to the question, why is it impossible to raise red clover where there are no bumblebees, is A. Only bumblebees can fertilize red clover plants. Therefore, the correct choice is A. Now listen to another sample question. According to the speaker, in what way are the queen wasp and the queen bee similar? In your test book you read, A. They both make honey. B. They both build combs. C. Both of them are found in underground nests. D. They both live through the winter. The best answer to the question, according to the speaker, in what way are the queen wasp and the queen bee similar, is D. They both live through the winter. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 through 42. Listen to part of a lecture given by a business professor.
Well, I guess that's it for today's discussion on advertising as an important aspect of marketing. Next week, I'd like to move away from marketing and into distribution. That is, the chain of movement of goods from their sources, often factories, to their final destinations, us, the consumers. For that discussion, you'll need to read Chapter 5 in your text. Make sure you read it carefully. We may have a short quiz on it at the beginning of our next class. As you are reading Chapter 5, pay careful attention to the differences and similarities between wholesalers and retailers. They are the most important middlemen in the chain of distribution of goods and services, and it's crucial for you to understand the roles they play in getting goods from factories to consumers. Oh, and one last thing. Don't forget to leave today's homework on my desk as you leave the classroom. I'll take a look at it this week and get it back to you at our next class meeting.
Number 39. What was the topic of today's earlier discussion? Number 40. According to the speaker, what is distribution? Number 41. What might happen at the beginning of the next class? Number 42. What would the speaker like the students to think carefully about when doing their assigned reading? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a talk given by a museum guide.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sam Connor, and I'll be your guide through the first wing of the exhibits this morning. Before we start out, let me give you some orientation to the museum itself. First of all, we have the central gallery, which is used for special exhibitions that change frequently. Then, to our right, is the entrance to the art gallery, which also contains the museum research library. This library is available for extensive research assistance for our patrons by appointment. To our left is the Firearms Museum, which you can see is still partially under construction and unfortunately not open for a visit this morning. Directly ahead, through the garden area, is the Indian Museum, of which we are extremely proud. We are thought to have the most complete collection of Indian art and artifacts in this part of the United States. The youngsters will surely enjoy the teepee hall, a replica of an 1890 Sioux camp. You may enter the teepees, but do not touch the exhibits. I'm sorry to announce that there will be a brief delay in our tour due to the many school visits at this time of year. Please visit our gift shop or stroll through the sculpture garden while we are waiting. The tour should begin in 15 minutes.
Number 43. What can be found in the Central Gallery? Number 44. Why can't the tour visit the Firearms Museum? Number 45. Which exhibit area is the museum best known for? Number 46. Why was the tour delayed? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to a radio talk about safety procedures during a storm.
Nearly everyone knows that during a storm, one should not seek shelter under a tree. Tall trees actually attract lightning. The tree is a poor conductor of electricity, and its resistance can force part of the current to flash out at any person or object near it. On the other hand, steel buildings, trains, and automobiles provide good paths to the ground for the electricity and are well insulated. They usually provide safe shelters during an electrical storm. Fishermen and those engaged in water sports should head for land when a storm approaches. Boats are common targets for lightning, and round flashes of lightning which look like fire are sometimes seen around ships, airplanes, steeple clocks, and tall trees. Because lightning occurs so frequently, outdoorsmen especially should know the following safety rules. Rule number 1. During a storm, get indoors if at all possible. Rule number 2. Never stay on a bicycle or horse or hold a metal object such as a fishing rod, shovel, or golf club in your hand. Rule number 3, if you are caught outdoors, lie down or stay on low ground or in a ditch if possible. And rule number 4, stay away from a body of water, and if you are swimming, get out of the water immediately.
Number 47. What is the purpose of this talk? Number 48. According to the speaker, why isn't it a good idea to stand near a tall tree during a thunderstorm? Number 49. Why are trains and automobiles usually safe places to be during storms? Number 50. What should you do if you can't get indoors during a storm? This is the end of Section 1 of TOEFL Practice Test 3. Stop work on Section 1 now. Turn off your cassette player.